Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Hughes, and thanks for watching the CarolinaPreps.com High School Football Preview Show. Over the course of the next 18 days, we're going to continue to preview each and every conference in North Carolina. We'll continue today with the 3A Coastal Conference. You know, there's no other way to put it with this conference than to just say it is a beast. You know, there's no clear favorite at the top, but let's look at the top teams. Havelock, they're certainly going to be one of the top teams in North Carolina as well as the Coastal Conference. Now under the direction of new head football coach Caleb Keene, the Rams are coming off a 13-2 campaign, and they've not won any less than 11 games over the past 8 seasons. You know, it's also probably safe to say that Havelock still feels they have something to prove, and they want to remove the bad taste from their mouths after last year's 34-33 OT loss to Rocky Mount in the Eastern Finals. You know, speaking of another team that left the season with a bad taste in their mouth is Jacksonville. They finished 10-5. They lost to Eastern Guilford in the 3AA regional finals by a score of 26-21. You know, Coach Bo Williams returns a lot of key starters from last year's team, and I think it's safe to assume that the Cardinals will once again be a tough out for anyone. New to this league, but not necessarily new to the teams involved, is Jacksonville Northside. Coach Kendrick Pollock's Monarchs finished 2016 12-4. They lost a 28-6 game against Shelby in the 2AA state championships. And while it's fair to say, you know, those are your big three and those are really good teams, there's some other good teams in the mix. West Carteret, they've shown tremendous growth under head football coach Daniel Barrow, and by all accounts, I think they'll be much better in 2017. Swansboro, an incredibly scrappy team who makes you earn every yard. Head coach Tim Laspot has been the Pirates head coach for 13 years, and his teams are always hard to prepare for. And then there's White Oak, and this is a team that's shown the capacity to score points in bunches. I think that they're going to be very much improved. Coach Eric Leary's done a great job. Speaking of Eric Leary, he's with us now on the Dynamic Fitness Hotline. Let's get his thoughts on the conference.
Well, it's a tough conference from top to bottom. Obviously, I mean, you got 3 teams in there this year that played for Eastern Championships last year at different of subdivisions or even classifications, and Northside, of course, is the 2AA last year playing in the state championship. So you got quality teams all the way through. So every week's going to be just a fight, of course.
Well, Coach, you're familiar, very familiar, I should say, with these Jacksonville teams. You've been down there for a long time now. You've only been the head coach at White Oak for 2 seasons, but you've been very much a part of some of those runs. You've seen what Jacksonville can do up close. How good do you feel if you were Coach Williams, just in the foundation that he's built and the run that he's been able to do, convincing the kids in the program has got to be one of the most important things as a coach. I mean, they've got talent, but now that they know they can do it, it should be fun for them.
Right. It's been, obviously we're on the outside looking in and seeing how that program's gone, but they've stayed patient. Of course, first couple of years. I think you'd probably be the first to tell you, they took their lumps and they learned as they went, but it just shows you they had some stick-to-itness with the way they've approached things, that they're still doing some of the same things that they've been doing all along, and it's bearing the fruits right now, for sure.
Sure. And again, we're here with Coach Eric Leary, White Oak. Talk a little bit about your team. Again, we stated 1-9 last year, but you did manage to score points. You were in a bunch of games that you guys weren't able to pull off towards the end. But how do you feel about this team going forward? I know there's a lot of excitement around the program. I sense it even from afar, and I think that you guys are going to be much improved.
Well, I think that our core group's really put in some good work, and they're seeing that, and they're excited, of course. What I've really enjoyed watching this summer has been our older guys who've been in our program pouring into those younger players, those guys first coming in, or maybe those guys that are just coming up to the varsity. And when that happens, that's when you have an opportunity to start seeing culture really root itself in your program that's going to have some positive results, hopefully.
All right, Coach. Well, it sounds great. I know you guys are about to go out and kick off your practice tonight. Going off at 5. You got a fun week, though. I'm excited to hear about your Friday night practice where you're going to go in the evening, you're going to eat, you're going to come together as a team and go back out Saturday morning at 12:01. I think that's a lot of fun, and that gets the kids really excited about getting out there and hitting for the first time and having a fun experience, and I hope you guys can build on that momentum.
We really appreciate it, Chris, and of course, thanks for everything you do. Definitely put a shine a light on high school football like nobody else.
Well, there you go. That's Coach Herrick Leary. And now let's get right back to the Dynamic Fitness Hotline if we can. Let's see if we can get Coach Caleb King from Havelock.
And now here on the hotline, joined by the head football coach of the Havelock Rams, Coach Caleb King. Caleb, I appreciate you joining me. I know that you guys are poised for a big year, and to get on here right before you're going out for practice this morning is huge to get your insight on this incredibly tough conference. We'll get to the conference part in a second, though.
Yes,
it's really a homecoming for you. You've been a player. You graduated at Havelock. You was the defensive coordinator on some championship teams. You go off and become a head coach, and you win 10 and 12 games respectively at East Carteret. Now you're coming home leading the program that you've always looked up to and just wanted to be a part of. It's got to be great for you to finally be at the reins of this team and to move it forward in your vision.
Oh, I mean, without a doubt, Chris, it's been just really, really a blessing to be here. I mean, with this coaching staff and these players, I mean, it's been an awesome experience. Just to be home, it's always just good to be home. And East Carteret was really good to us, and we enjoyed our time there. But it was time to go home, and we're excited about this year.
Well, like I said, you're about to go out to practice this morning, 9 a.m., first official practice of the year, although you have been leading this team all throughout the spring and summer through the required workouts or allowed workouts by the State Athletic Association. This Havelock program in the last 8 years has not won any less than 12 games, so that's obviously some big shoes for you to fill. But I know that there's no shortage of talent, and I know that you've been working hard since you've got there. Tell us about some of the senior leaders and some of those guys in your short time at the helm who have established themselves as some leaders, and who should we be looking out for?
I mean, going into it, coming in the wintertime was a great time for me to be able to make the transition. I mean, we hit the ground running, and without a doubt, Avery Jones, when you come in, he's a number 4, 4-star prospect. He's got all the hype, but what he's got is all the work ethic you'll ever want. I mean, he's a guy you never, ever have to look and make sure he's doing the reps. It's just incredible to watch him work and lift and push himself. And he's added about 15 pounds of muscle this off season, a 335 power cleaner. I mean, just really done a great job for us in the weight room as a leader. And then you got to look to Solomon Belagati, our middle linebacker, plays running back for us as well. Just an incredible, incredible leader for us. All the kids look to him for his leadership. And the last two, you got to look at Khalil Barrett, incredible speed, does a great job for us, and Tyon Johnson. Tyon's just, his energy at practice is just incredible. I mean, his motor, is just something that you strive for every kid in the program to have. But, I mean, he's just constantly moving, constantly active. And all 4 of those guys have just done an incredible job for us.
Well, Coach, I know that you've been laser focused on what you can do every day to make Havelock better, but it's got to be hard not to at least have some idea of what you think's going on with this 3A Coastal League. Obviously, you guys go to a lot of camps and 7-on-7s, and all the coaches, each other really well. So going into this that this conference is going to be brutal this year. Look at Havelock, who was just a step, Jacksonville, who was just a step away from the championship game. Obviously, the run that Havelock had under Coach Bryant, and now bring in Northside, who was in a state championship game at the 2A level. This is a bear of a conference.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, Bo Williams does an incredible job at Jacksonville. Those guys are going to be ready to go every Friday night, and some really, really good players there.
Northside Jacksonville. Coach Pollock, incredible job. First year head coach, goes to the state championship game. I mean, a great guy, a friend. And then you look at the players he's got, man, they are just loaded from top to bottom, on the line to everything. And then you got to go to, West Carteret's an upcoming team. They've done a great job. Coach Barrow, got those guys excited. They got a very dynamic quarterback, great offensive line. And the other couple guys in the league are really doing a good job. White Oak's constantly improving. They run an offense that's hard to prepare for in the flex bone.
Right. And we just spoke to Coach Leary at White Oak, and the one thing that he could score points last year. It didn't matter that, yes, they gave up a lot of points, but his offense, as you mentioned, that could keep them in the game and make them a wild card.
Oh, without a doubt. Anybody that runs the flex bone, I mean, you look at the guys even in college, they're constantly scoring points. They're constantly, making things happen.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, I know that you're about to lace them up and go out and lead these guys in your first practice of the year. We certainly want to wish you the best when it comes to that. Expect to see the Carolina Preps team. I'm going to be heading down your way. I might see you Tuesday or Wednesday this week, so we can't wait to put our eyes on you ourselves. But have a great season, and thanks for joining us today.
We appreciate it, Coach, and we appreciate everything you do for North Carolina high school football, and we look forward to seeing you.
All right, guys, in conclusion, this is an incredibly hard conference to pick. However, I do feel this is Havelock's season to win it, and while the games will be all hard-fought, I think that Havelock has the ammunition to pull it out. Look for Northside and Jacksonville to be close behind, but I'll put at least today I'm going to go number 1 Havelock, number 2 Northside, and number 3 Jacksonville. Don't be shocked to see West Carteret pull an upset of one of the top 3 and try to establish themselves as a dark horse. Again, thanks everybody for joining us here on the CarolinaPreps.com High School Football Preview Show of the 3A Coastal Conference. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at CarolinaPreps1 and join us on the fan forums to discuss your favorite teams. I'm Chris Hughes, and we'll catch you next time.